around 1299. Sogut, in northwestern Anatolia. Osman I stood atop a hill. Before him, a small band of warriors. Behind him, the crumbling Seljuk Sultanate. He raised his sword. We will build a new nation. What was going through his mind in that moment? Later legends tell of Osman harboring grand ambitions, starting from a small frontier force. But this was only the beginning. Recent scholarship explains the Ottoman Empire's formation not as a nation founded in a single day, but as a gradual process of alliance building and integration within the frontier societies of Western Anatolia. No one predicted it, that this small force would become a great empire lasting over 6 centuries. 1326. Orhan I gazed up at the walls of Bursa. 7 years of siege. At last, the gates opened. Bursa became the capital, and the center of court and administration took shape. It marked the transformation from nomads to a settled state. Orhan knew, those without land cannot hold a nation. Those without cities cannot build civilization. The moment Bursa fell, the Ottoman Empire changed. From tribe to state. 1362. Murad I entered Edirne. It was the moment they conquered a major city that would become the strategic base for European expansion. Europe trembled. The Ottomans have come to the Balkans. Murad remained calm. He had a clear strategy. Encircle the Byzantine Empire, not from the east, but from the west. From the late 14th century onward, Edirne served as the European capital, the hub of European expansion, and the base for the siege of Constantinople. The empire now straddled 2 continents. June 15, 1389. The Kosovo Plain. Murad I surveyed the battlefield. The Serbian forces were beginning to crumble. Victory was within reach. But then, in that instant, legend says he was assassinated by the Serbian knight Milos Obilic, though details vary across sources. The first Ottoman sultan to die on the battlefield. Yet the empire did not waver. His son, Bayezid I, seized power immediately and continued the fight. The Battle of Kosovo. Ottoman victory. Serbian defeat. The Balkans fell under Ottoman rule. Summer, 1402. Ankara. Beşit I was surrounded. He was the man they called the Thunderbolt, the man who conquered the Balkans and besieged Constantinople. But Timur was different, the conqueror of Central Asia, descendant of the Mongols. Bayezid's army collapsed. He himself was taken prisoner. The Ottoman Empire's greatest crisis. The empire fractured, and civil war erupted. But this was not the end. It was the prelude to rebirth. 1413. Mehmed I achieved peace. 11 years of civil war. 4 brothers vying for the throne. Mehmed was the most level-headed. He wielded not only force, but diplomacy. He allied with Byzantium, negotiated with Venice, and divided his enemies. And he triumphed. The empire was reunited. But Mehmed understood the lesson of civil war. Brothers become enemies. Power breeds division. His son would put this lesson into practice. May 29, 1453. 5 a.m. Mehmed II watched the walls collapse. 53 days of siege. Tens of thousands of troops. And massive cannons. The Theodosian walls. Walls that had boasted invincibility and repelled countless sieges. But on this day, the walls fell. Ottoman forces stormed through. Constantinople had fallen. The Byzantine Empire's 100 years of history came to an end. Mehmed was 21 years old. Yet he changed history. After the conquest, the vernacular name Istanbul spread, and the official designation evolved over time. The heart of Christendom became the capital of an Islamic empire. Europe was shaken to its core. 1520. Suleiman I ascended the throne. A young emperor, 26 years old. But he possessed extraordinary talent. A military genius. A reformer of law. A patron of the arts. His reign lasted 46 years. the Ottoman Empire entered its golden age. At its peak, the empire is estimated to have covered between 5 and 6 million square kilometers, spanning 3 continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Suleiman understood, conquest alone cannot sustain an empire. Law and order are essential. He was called Kanuni, meaning the lawgiver. In addition to Sharia, he established Kanun, sultanic law for administrative governance, military might, and governance. A man who mastered both. September 1529. Vienna. Suleiman I gazed up at the city walls. 3 weeks of siege. 100,000 troops. Yet the city did not fall. Winter was approaching. Supply lines were stretched thin. Suleiman made his decision. We retreat. It was the first major failure of his life. Vienna marked the Ottoman Empire's limit. They could advance no further west. Europe breathed a sigh of relief. But Suleiman did not give up. About 154 years later, in 1683, they would besiege Vienna once more. September 7, 1566. Sigetvar. Suleiman I quietly closed his eyes. 71 years old. 46 years of reign. 13 campaigns. He died in camp. On the battlefield. As a conqueror, Grand Vizier Sokolu Mehmed Pasha issued an order. Conceal the Sultan's death. The army's morale will collapse. For 3 weeks, no one knew that the Sultan had died. The siege continued, and they won. Suleiman's death was a turning point for the empire, the end of the Golden Age. However, recent scholarship reframes the period after the 17th century not simply as decline, but as an era of adaptation and transformation in response to a changing world. October 7th, 1571. Off Lepanto, the greatest naval battle in the Mediterranean. 5 hours of fierce combat. The Ottoman fleet suffered heavy losses. Numerous ships were sunk or captured, with casualties reportedly reaching tens of thousands. Yet the Ottoman Empire rapidly rebuilt its fleet. By the following year, a new fleet was assembled, maintaining influence over the eastern Mediterranean. Europe rejoiced. The Ottomans are not invincible. Lepanto shattered the myth of Ottoman invincibility and symbolized the halting of westward Mediterranean expansion. But the empire's power remained formidable. September 12, 1683. Vienna. Kara Mustafa Pasha was in retreat. 2 months of siege. 150,000 troops. Yet the city did not fall. And then King John III Sobieski of Poland arrived. 20,000 cavalry. The largest cavalry charge in history. The Ottoman army was annihilated. It was a replay of Suleiman's failure 154 years earlier. But this time was different. The empire's expansion halted here. From the defeat at Vienna, the Ottoman Empire began its retreat. Hungary, lost. The Balkans, lost. Pushed back from Europe. November 3, 1839. Abdülmecid I proclaimed reforms. Tanzimat, meaning reorganization. The Ottoman Empire had to change. Overtaken by Europe, losing territory continuously. The reform agenda. Equality before the law. Religious freedom. A modern military. Western-style education. Tanzimat promoted modernization and played a crucial role in centralization and legal reform. But there were problems. Resistance from conservatives. Financial collapse. And interference from European powers. The reforms could not halt the empire's disintegration. The empire became known as, quote, the sick man of Europe. November 1914. Enver Pasha made his decision. We will enter the war on Germany's side. The Ottoman Empire entered World War I. Enver believed Germany would win, and the empire would reclaim its lost territories. But it was a miscalculation. The war destroyed the empire. On the Eastern Front, they fought Russia and were defeated. In the Middle East, they fought Britain and were defeated. In the Balkans, they fought the Allies and were defeated. Millions were mobilized, and the death toll was staggering. October 30th, 1918. The Ottoman Empire surrendered. Over 600 years of history. The beginning of the end. November 1st, 1922. Ankara. Mustafa Kemal addressed the assembly. The Sultanate is abolished. The Ottoman Empire is finished. A new Turkish republic begins. The chamber fell silent. The moment over 6 centuries of history came to an end. The last Sultan, Mehmed VI. He departed the country aboard a British warship. Quietly. No one saw him off. No one shed a tear. The Ottoman Empire vanished without a sound, but its legacy remained. The architecture of Istanbul, the autonomous governance of religious communities, a history spanning 3 continents, and lessons. The Ottoman Empire. Over 6 centuries of history, 3 continents. At its peak, between 5 and 6 million square kilometers. But all empires come to an end. What can we learn from this empire? First, the management of diversity. Through autonomous governance of religious communities, the empire ruled over multiple faiths, adapting across eras. Turks, Arabs, Greeks, Armenians, all lived under one empire. Second, the necessity of adaptation. The Tanzimat reforms advanced modernization, but adaptation to change came too slowly. When the world changes, empires must change as well. Third, the dangers of overexpansion. The obsession with Vienna. It exceeded the empire's limits. And finally, all glory comes to an end. But the legacy endures. Now, I ask you, all empires that fail to adapt to change will fall. The moment expansion stops, new challenges begin. If you were a modern leader, what would you learn from the successes and failures of the Ottoman Empire? The method to turn diversity into strength and the courage to adapt to change. How would you balance these two? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm deeply grateful you stayed until the end. The Ottoman Empire lasted over 6 centuries, but its legacy lives on. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. What should we, in the present, learn from the rise and fall of past empires? This channel continues to explore the decisive moments of history. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join me on the next journey through time. Until next time.